So a slightly different day today. I'm going to be cycling up to Cardiff Met to get the van to the reservoir. So yeah, basically a bit of an away day. Just getting a bit of a change of scenery and stimulus, I guess. Another intense day, like hard swim and then just aerobic run and a bit of a poodle back home from the reservoir on the bikes, which is why I'm taking the bike up to Cardiff Met. So the one thing that I would note, whilst just looking back at the past week or so of training, is that it's the first change in routine that I've had in my training schedule in probably a good number of years now, other than maybe camp. But even on camp, we do pretty much the same thing. I guess it's just my body's just experienced a few more aches and pains than usual. Does it make me second guess what we're doing? No, not really. Like, I think it's fine. It's just a case of managing it appropriately and just making sure that the load is organised correctly and managed so that those aches and pains don't become injuries. But yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that I'm experiencing at the moment. Just different body feels, like the body's so used to the Monday being hard, Tuesday being hard, Wednesday being aerobic, etc., that just a slight change in that, the body doesn't really know what to expect. I don't even know what day it is. Like, my routine's been completely shunted, and I guess that's the other thing. I'm just having to think about a few things that I didn't have to before, i.e. where I have to be when, whereas usually it's all automated. There's pros and cons, of course, training stimulus. But yeah, I just feel as though I'm having to think about things a bit more than I want to at the moment. Today, for example, slightly out of routine, will be good, but yeah, mentally slightly more taxing. I realise I'm saying this whilst I'm not really going into a proper office, and I am ridiculously privileged to be doing what I'm doing, but it's all relative. So I didn't really manage to get much content of the actual swim, but we did a session which was a big build. So we did like 2 by 800 meters, 2 by 600 meters, 2 by 400 meters, 2 by 200 meters. So yeah, pretty big session, 6K all in wetsuit, open water, so no turns. So yeah, it was quite muscularly damaging, I guess. But at the same time, we tried to keep it nice and controlled. So that was that. Got out the water, quick change, and then we did what we usually do, which was we went for a run. And that was about 9-10K, but it was like all over the shop in terms of terrain because we went around the lake. Really nice, stunning scenery, and yeah, just good company as well. It was really nice to just jog around really slowly because of the terrain and the elevation, and yeah, just managed to get that done, and it was absolutely cooking. So yeah, really nice, but at the same time I got to the end and I was really dehydrated, so I was just like, okay, right, enough's enough, not going to carry on doing any more of that. Just gonna rest, recover, like refuel, and get going again, ready for the bike. The pros versus.
I know, so. Oh, big fucking lorry. I'm a lorry with a fucking trailer. It's not.
Yeah.
To be fair, all my bikes are kind of faded a bit.
Yeah, that's because you have the same set of clothes for the last 10 years.
So what's the point in going somewhere else, doing something different, changing the environment? I think for me, it's really nice to just get out of the general setting of where we usually train, just because it's that change of environment. So you just feel as though you're basically going on camp. It just teaches the body to be able to adapt. Like you don't turn up to a race having done that race for the past few weeks or months. Luke and Lewis, great in terms of organisation and supplying food, and the whole day in terms of just logistically as well as and execution, like spot on. So they even bought 3 kilos of pasta for everyone to have and refuel with. So yeah, really appreciate that. After having some food and just refueling, we then got on the bikes, and instead of having to drive there and back, we actually cycled back to Cardiff. So that saved the journey of having to cycle around where we travelled to and then drive back, because we'd be pretty knackered by that point. So yeah, just managed to cycle back to Cardiff, and what we did do within the cycle is we just did a little bit of tempo work, so that's just strengthening the legs because it's so flippin' hot at the moment. You're not getting as much muscular conditioning and endurance, so yeah, we just wanted to up the power a little bit just to compensate for that lack of power during the rest of the ride, because you're keeping a lid on things to keep the heart rate down and the system kind of recovering. Right, day done, and Emily's bought tortillas and Sprites for me to do some TikTok challenges. That was a long day, I am knackered, but hopefully this will be fun. Will it be fun?
You're about to get hit with a tortilla.
I might update you in it.
People worry about you.
I'm about to get hit by a tortilla. Anyway, I'll show you in another video at some point, but that's about to happen apparently.